Hi, I'm Strait. You might know me from The Expanse. And here we are. I'm about to experience AirZeroG for the first time for real. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, excited to be here. Thank you. So tell me, you instruct astronauts on how to move.
I'm working for ESA at the European Astronaut Center, and I'm the instructor for the astronauts for parabolic flights, but also for spacewalk. I train them underwater, like at NASA in the NBL, how to simulate a spacewalk and to follow the rules of engagement to be always safe and efficient.
Amazing.
So what we do here, this is a zone that will be used for the astronauts.
Right.
You know that ESA has recruited 5 astronauts 1 year ago,
right.
And they have been through what we call the basic training, which is familiarization with a lot of things in classroom, but also training underwater.
Sure.
And next week there will be a ceremony to certify them as they are no more astronaut candidates, but they are real astronauts.
Amazing.
And we have set up this for them so that they get a taste of weightlessness,
right.
And start to apprehend how they have to work in this new environment, which will be their daily life when they will be on board for 6 months.
Right.
So what we have done already, we have done the first flight, the previous flight, where this cabin here was completely empty.
Okay.
And the goal was for them first to discover the feeling. Your brain is receiving plenty of strange signals.
Right.
You have to process that. You float, you don't know to master your body and your movement.
Right.
After that, there was a sequence later in the flight where we asked them to be active in translation. So, for example, to translate along this handrail, but with the feet down and the head up to keep the reference.
Right.
Then to translate horizontally.
Right.
In a circle round.
Yeah.
Then to translate at the ceiling. With these straps, with the torso close to the ceiling and looking in one direction,
right.
Which are, frankly speaking, recommend you to do that, because then you will be confronted to what we call an illusion, that here you see the floor is flat and you have this kind of rounded ceiling.
Sure.
When you are in this position, you get the feeling that you are in a boat. This is the bottom part of a boat, and the ceiling of the boat is flat, and everybody is hanging upside down like bats. So, and of course this is disturbing because you need to do a mental rotation where you say, okay, this is my new floor, this is my new ceiling, I accept it like that, and then you are comfortable.
Right.
This is what the astronauts are confronted to when they enter the space station.
Right.
Because when they are trained, for example, like in Cologne on the Columbus module, which is the European part of the space station, they enter in the module and they are trained with this is the top, this is the side, and so on.
Wow.
And if they enter in the module upside down, they even don't recognize the module.
Right.
So it's a bit uncomfortable. So either they do a body rotation, say, okay, I go back to my reference, or I do a mental rotation. I say, okay, I have to work in this config. Now this is my new ceiling, this is my new floor, and I accept that. So we train them on that, and they were moving around also in this configuration transversally. So after this flight, they have discovered weightlessness, assimilated it, and started to move and to master again how to live for simple movement and translation. So based on that, we go now to all these work sites.
Sure, yeah.
The objective is to confront them to situations that will happen in the space station during their mission, and to have them still being in an uncomfortable environment, weightlessness, sometimes upside down or in a strange orientation, that they have now to focus on a task, a job to complete, and then to forget this environment. And after that, you get the feeling, hey, now I master the stuff. Now this environment is familiar for me. I get into it. So I will show you the examples.
Yeah, please.
So the first one is this side, which is a translation pass. And what you have here, these are handrails that you have on the space station.
Oh, right.
And you have them on the floor, ceiling, everywhere.
All over the place.
And these handrails are used by the astronauts when they are quite good at it.
Yeah.
To stabilize themselves by the feet. So when you see them doing a press conference, most of the time they are like this. They lift up the top of the feet.
Right.
And they stand and they are stable.
Right.
But in translation, you can start from the northern right here.
Yeah.
Go there. Be stable like that.
Yes.
Stop it. Restart.
Right.
Rotate.
Right.
And you use your feet, no, not your hands.
Right.
And when you do that, you can even carry bags, equipment, which create a bit of unbalancing because there is a little of weight in that.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right.
So this is something that they will start to master and to think about.
Right.
An astronaut who is not trained in weightlessness before, going to the space station, will forget that. They will fly like you can see sometimes, they are horizontal, flying like Superman or Superwoman through the cabin, which is fine. But if you want to stop yourself, you grab some things, it's attached with a Velcro, blah, 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 everything will fly away.
Right.
So that's the technique that they have to learn here.
Right, a more controlled technique to go through, right.
The second exercise that we will do here is with the bag.
Yes.
So this is a simple bag, like a crew bag.
Right.
And inside we put some very small items. You have gloves,
a water bottle,
some patches of water, things that are soft because the risk is that if you open the bag and these stuff are going away, we don't want to hurt anybody.
Of course, yeah.
So the goal here is to get something out of the bag, and they will be in this position. And at injection, when we start in weightlessness, they put their feet below this handrail.
On here.
They are inclined the back 45 degrees.
Right.
The bag in front, and we say, give me the ESA patch.
Right.
Then they open it. They will, not too much, otherwise everything floats away.
Right.
They will spend some time to look at the new life inside the bag because everything's floating
inside the bag.
Like it's alive. Huh?
Right.
And to get the right one, to give it to someone, even it's floating.
Yeah.
And when you do that, they are fixed by the feet.
Right here.
They have learned in an uncomfortable orientation.
Right.
They are mastering it.
Yeah.
Now they concentrate on this.
Wow. So it's fascinating because I don't think it's intuitive to people who aren't involved in this. Is that the mental piece?
Yes.
Is
this is all about mental.
Right. Yeah. It's so challenging and like it's I think most people assume who are not involved with space that it's physically arduous, obviously.
It's physically difficult, but there are two sides of it.
Right.
The first one is, your brain is not used to that.
Right.
You have to master. You became again a baby who would start to try to walk.
Right, right.
When you get a bit more into it, and maybe you will get it already feel it at the end of the flight, you will discover that this is a wonderful freedom. Right. That you can do things. It's much more natural that being like we are now, pushed and pushed down by the attraction of something that is somewhere down and everything is falling down.
Right.
And we live in this gravity environment and resistance where we have to stand and with the weight since we are born and we don't know anything else. So we even don't realize that it is a constraint. It's part of our life.
Right.
It's like for a fish being underwater.
Right.
Water is my universe.
Right. Right.
So and here you will discover that it's disturbing.
Yeah.
Wow. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when you come back to gravity, this is a constraint. You get out of the environment.
Right. That's so interesting.
Another exercise that we do here is to practice CPR.
Oh, yes, of course.
This can happen on space station.
Right.
No medical doctor, if you call
no one's coming.
No one's coming, so you have to take care of yourself.
Right.
And there are two options. The first one is that you go with your legs below, like that. You tighten it. But you try it.
Yeah. Put your leg in here, right?
Here.
Like that?
Then we will, the other one, both legs.
Oh, both legs. I see. Okay.
And then we tighten it. We will tighten it, not here because... And then you press, you do your CPR. You have the resistance here.
Right.
It's not super
difficult.
Right. But there is a bit of challenge.
Sure, yeah.
When they have done that for a couple of parabolas, we ask them to do like on the space station. Use the environment, this freedom of gravity.
Right.
Go, we put them upside down. The feet over there.
Right.
And they push with the feet, like I would be pushing now, like that,
wow.
but upside down.
Right, of course.
And then you get all the force and the precision that you need.
What a trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like not intuitive for someone who hasn't experienced it yet, but like, of course, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right.
You have this possibility, use it. This is
right,
wonderful.
right. So interesting.
So then all this side is about spacewalk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's start with this. When you do a spacewalk, you might have seen, I mean, you know what it is about.
Yeah, the video, right.
But in spacewalks, you have to attach equipment. You have to, most of the time, to drill, to unscrew bolts,
right,
to make them secure.
Sure.
And you have something that is called the PGT, pistol grip tool, which is like this, like a drilling machine or screwing machine,
sure,
which is much bigger, bigger, and we train that underwater.
Gotcha.
And then they are trained also with a real one.
Right.
Here we cannot bring this kind of stuff because it's not qualified to fly on this plane.
Sure.
But we have this system. The battery is down, so I cannot bring it, but it's just a drilling machine.
Sure.
What we do, we tell them, okay, drill, screw and screw these captive screws.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they will be there, and when we are going in weightlessness, they will go horizontal.
Right,
like
right.
Or themselves put the machine down like that, engage,
right,
and then keep the arm closed and start the movement.
Right.
And what will happen is that as soon as there is a resistance in the screwing, on the bolt, the body will rotate. It's not that the bolt is rotating, it's you rotating around the bolt.
Wow, so the person's body is actually the one moving around the bolt itself.
Exactly.
Wow,
And
right.
that's the reason why in spacewalk, they have to secure themselves strongly with what we call the BRT. BRT, it's a body restraint tether. It's like a third arm that you put there,
right,
that you attach on an rail, you twist it to have it solid,
sure,
and you are very well attached.
Amazing.
And even with the big spacesuit that you have outside,
right,
you will have this effect. So only in weightlessness you can discover that.
It's so wild.
This environment is wonderful for this kind of discovery.
Yeah.
They did such operation in the water.
Right.
But of course in the water, you have the drag, the resistance, you know where you're upside down, you are almost vertical.
Right.
It's completely different.
Right, right.
Now we go to this one, and then this one. So this one is what we call the PFR, or PFR is for portable foot restraint.
I see.
Articulated portable foot restraint.
Okay.
And it's actually a platform where you can be locked by the feet with your engaging the feet of the spacesuit inside.
Right.
Like this. You have to go in. And once you are in, you rotate.
Oh, I see. Right. Right.
This movement.
Yeah. So it locks in both sides.
This is very not natural because in space the spacesuit is really
bulky. Yeah.
You don't see the platform. You have to feel it with your feet where it is.
Right.
And you need exercise.
Yeah. Right.
So when we do this in the pool, in the water.
I see.
In the training underwater, it's perfect because you can have it in different orientations.
Yeah.
But you still have the water drag. You still have this slow motion.
Right.
Now we have these boots, which have exactly the same sole as the one from the spacesuit.
From the spacesuit.
So, and the same locking mechanism. So they will be here wearing this, holding themselves.
Yeah.
Injection in weightlessness. They try to get it locked and locked.
Right.
And they will see the difference with what they have experienced in 1G and underwater.
Right. So it becomes intuitive in a different way.
This kind of platform on the space station, it's articulated because below you have a kind of articulation device.
Right.
You put them in some plugs, and then you are very stable to work with both hands.
Right.
Or they are at the top of the robotic arm, where you are attached by the feet.
Right outside. It's so interesting.
And the last exercise, this one.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah.
I will put this on you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, please. Yeah.
Okay. No,
this way.
The front.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Good. So, this is what we called a mini workstation. If you look at photos or videos from astronauts doing spacewalk,
Yeah.
they have in front of them a kind of T-bar where are attached all their tethers, their hooks for the tools and so on.
Right.
Here it's very simple, but you can have this
All
bucket.
kinds of stuff, right?
This one is a low fidelity one, but it's enough. The attachment of the points are exactly the same. So you have attachment here,
Right.
at the waist,
At the waist.
or here.
Amazing.
So there is a rule that they have trained on, and that they've been trained quite extensively underwater.
Sure.
That when you go in space, there are two big rules to apply. The first one is that you have always to be secured by 2 points. One point is your hand, your arm,
Right.
connected to the structure.
Right.
The second one, this is what we call the safety tether.
Ah,
The best friend of the astronaut, safety
Right.
line. So if you, by mistake, don't lose control here,
right.
you fly away,
Right.
but you are not lost like in many scientific movies or
Right.
whatever, where, ooh,
Right. Right.
and
you've got
you will
this.
go back to the point where it is attached.
Right.
Very easy.
Right. Of course.
But if you want to work with both hands, what do?
Right.
You have to drop a tether,
Ah, I see.
which we call the local
Right.
tether. So here, let me show you.
Yeah.
There are different things. To open it, you have 3 actions to do.
Okay.
You unlock,
Right.
you press on both sides, and you shoot.
Right.
Try this.
Yeah. Unlock. Press on both sides.
Both sides here. Both.
Oh, I see.
Both, yeah.
And then
Yeah. Yeah.
shoot.
And then we do that with EVA glove that we have here. So this is what we call the TMGs.
Oh, wow.
These are the thermal meteorite and garments.
Right.
So this is external part. You don't have all the pressurized stuff.
yeah, sure.
But inside, what we do is I put a neoprene gloves to limit the dexterity.
Right.
We just put them here,
yeah.
like you go in space.
Oh, yeah.
So there is no limitation now,
Right.
but we put something that limits the dexterity.
Right. To make it harder.
Okay.
Right.
So now let's try again to open this.
Right. So down.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. it
Yeah.
becomes-
Push on both sides
Yeah. Push on both sides.
and shoot.
And
Yeah.
shoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we will ask them to do is hold themselves at the structure,
Right.
like in space, and look at the tool bag. This is a tool bag.
Oh, wow. Right.
So in such a tool bag, you can have tools, of course.
Right.
And these tools are attached inside by
Another tether. Right. Of
so
course.
that you don't lose the tool.
Right.
If you want to get the tools on you, you have to detach this one by pushing down to this.
Oh, I see. Right. So
Detach it, push
yeah,
down.
push down, attach,
attach it to
and
the
then you
tool.
attach it to here.
And
Right.
then you detach this one.
Oh, I see. Right.
Otherwise, the tool is lost in space.
It's going somewhere. Right. So there we
Exactly.
go.
Okay.
Amazing.
And then you go by inside.
Right.
So what we want to show there is not to play with this tool.
Right.
We will remove it, but to realize what happened when your bag is secure to you,
Yeah.
safe, but it's in
So
weightlessness.
it's floating. Right.
In the water, sometimes it's like that, something like that.
Right.
The drag is slowing everything down.
Sure.
Now they realize holding themselves, oh my God, this is alive.
Right.
It's like a big snake
Right.
moving around.
Yeah.
It can be in your bag. Wow.
Yeah.
So they get this feeling.
Right.
The next step is that they attach themselves here.
Right.
So remove this and
Yeah.
back again, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're almost there.
Almost. I had it a second ago.
Yeah, I will.
But there we go.
Yeah.
There we
great.
are. Okay.
And if you want to work with both hands,
Yeah.
this is a solution.
Right.
And then you are safe. One
Right.
line, 2 lines.
You have 2 lines.
Okay?
Right.
But that's a bit uncomfortable because you float away.
Right.
So you get this feeling like, oh, I'm not controlled.
Right.
So this is what we make them already feeling.
Sure.
Because in space it's even worse. You
Right.
do this and you have the Earth 400 kilometers below.
Right.
And you have an alarm in your brain who say,
Something's wrong. Yeah.
something wrong. You have
Yeah.
to grip, otherwise you fall.
Right.
It's very high.
Right. Right.
But this feeling that, oh my God, I feel going away,
Yeah.
they can feel it here
Right.
and control it.
And
If
secure.
they want to come back, they pull on it,
Pull on it
they are back.
and go back.
Okay?
Yeah.
They can also translate, like you do in climbing the trees.
Right.
Tac, 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 tac.
Right.
And then they will do another things, which is with this line, which is the best friend of the astronaut.
Yes.
Saving you.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
That's a nasty friend, because this one can be in unlock or lock position. Unlock, you see?
Oh, yes.
Tension.
Right.
Lock, you can pull, but it doesn't come back.
Oh, right.
And for any reason, sometimes you should be in lock, but if you forget to put it in unlock,
right,
this stuff will float like that.
Oh, right.
So in immersion, you cannot do it because you see this falling down.
Right.
Here, what you see again, you attach yourself, it's locked, and you see this a snake.
Right. It's just floating in there.
And this can go everywhere, behind your back, blocking you, around something.
Right.
You are stuck.
Yeah.
So this is the.
It could be
that's the reason why we say that's a nasty friend, because it's very friendly if you always keep an eye on it.
Right, right.
As soon as you don't keep an eye on it,
it can
this guy is becoming bad.
Right, of
and
course.
at the end, what they do, you can do it, you push, you switch this to you, unlock.
Aha, right.
It's getting an attention directly.
Right.
Yeah, and then you will feel your body being also slightly
pulled a little bit
by this.
Right.
Which is also a way to be secure.
A bit secure.
You have attention here.
Right, right.
This you can only get aware of that in this plane, in this configuration.
Right. This is quite literally the only place on the planet that you can have this kind of experience.
And at ESA, we are the only one doing that. NASA doesn't do that in the plane.
Wow.
So that our astronauts are quite privileged because they are exposed to this. And this is things that, in complementary to what they train in immersion in our water tank,
right?
They get an additional awareness,
right?
And when they go in training in Houston,
right,
they integrate this into their mind. Say, oh, I have to be careful with that. I have to take this.
Right. It already becomes normalized inside of their own mind.
But when they do that again, they will focus on the activity, forget the environment, and master things. After such a training and such an opportunity, they are much more confident.
I bet.
An astronaut is always going outside his or her comfort zone.
Of course.
To push the limit further.
Right.
Going into space, you have the launch, you have the hypergs, much more than what we get tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have the weightlessness, you have potential risk, you have plenty of things like that.
Of course.
And our job as trainers is to make them little by little, slide by slide, going, being comfortable, getting outside their comfort zone, but being comfortable by pushing the limit.
Gradually.
And after that, say, oh yeah, okay.
Right.
Not only I am no more surprised by weightlessness, I discover this is a wonderful environment, that there are plenty of advantages that I can take, I can use during my mission.
Right.
I can orient my body as I want, and I can do tasks that require to focus my attention. And forgetting the environment.
Right.
And that's
incredible.
The reason why in this campaign we have 10 astronauts on training.
Right.
So we have the 5 that have been recruited by ESA.
Yes.
We have 2 reserve astronauts that, because we recruited additional astronauts that could be activated eventually to Axiom flights that will be negotiated later.
Sure.
And we have also 1 astronaut from the Australian Space Agency, Catherine Pegg.
Yes, right.
And we have 2 Japanese astronauts, Yahu and Makoto, who just came from Japan to experience all this.
Amazing.
So that shows how beautiful this plane is and these ESA campaigns are.
Yes. Well, I thank you so much for showing me around. It's incredible stuff.
So next time you have to apply to an astronaut position and we'll train you. Pleasure.
I hope we have the experience someday. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.